It's another very, very pre-filmed book review because it is May as I film this, but this video is not going to be going up until July because I read another arc a few months before its release. Hooray for arcs! I read almost half of this book on a plane before it took off because it was sitting on the tarmac for 3 hours. Oh my god. So anyway, I got a lot of reading done. And then I did end up finishing this book on my trip in Europe, which is pretty exciting. So the book is Changes in Latitudes by Jen Malone, and I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. Changes in Latitudes is about a girl named Cassie, whose parents have semi-recently just gotten a divorce, which has really affected her. It has she feels like her family has just been torn apart. And it's also really hard for her to deal with because she overheard an argument between her parents about her mother cheating on her father. And she hasn't told anyone, not even her friends or her brother or anyone, that she heard this conversation. And she just is having a really, really, really difficult time dealing with everything and being around her mother. She hates her mother for doing this to her family. So not only does she hate her mother, and she feels devastated about the divorce and her family being ripped apart, but then she has to spend 4 months on a boat with her mother and her brother because her mom ends up getting a job basically to sail a boat down to Mexico for the people who own the boat, and she thought it would be a great way for her and her kids to kind of like bond again and like each other and, you know, get back to where they used to be before the divorce. And Cassie is completely dreading it because she has a difficult time living in the same house as her mother now, and now she has to live within 50 feet of her for 4 months. I really enjoyed this story. I liked the writing. It was really easy to get into and it flowed really nicely. And I did like Cassie for the most part. I mean, I understand where she was coming from with her being super angry at her mom for cheating on her dad. I feel like anyone would feel that way. But I feel like she was a little dramatic with just the fact that her parents were divorced because, like, oh my god, everyone's parents get divorced. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people's parents get divorced. And, I mean, wouldn't you rather have your parents be separated and happy than living together and miserable and making your life miserable? Other than that, I really liked Cassie, and I liked the relationship that she had with her brother and with her friends. I did really enjoy the family aspect to the story. I liked that her mom was a big part of the story and that her brother was a big part of the story. And I liked the conversations that she had and the fights that she had with her mom. They felt incredibly real, and there were 2 aspects in the story that made me like tear up a little bit because I just pictured my mom in that situation and it made me feel horrible. Like, I couldn't imagine my mom being in the situation that Cassie's mom was in and seeing her go through everything. It was heartbreaking. So that was really well done. Obviously there's a cute boy who shows up in the story and so there's that, which is interesting, which I did enjoy. I liked the way it progressed. I did like the boy in it as well, and I liked how he treated her and the conversations that they had. I feel like he kind of helped her grow up a little bit because he was a little bit older than her. I did also like that when he first found out how old she was, he did seem hesitant about it, which is nice. I mean, he's not like way older than her, but she's still in high school and he's not anymore, which is like kind of a big difference at that age. I did really enjoy this story. I liked the flow of the story. I liked the way everything progressed, and I liked the way the characters grew and how their relationships changed over time and throughout the story. There were a few little adventure-y things in it as well, like obviously they're on a boat the whole time, but there's a few times where like they dock on land and they go on like some land adventures as well, and the sailing aspect was fairly interesting as well. It wasn't like super heavy on the sailing stuff, but there were a few parts where it talked about what they were doing and stuff, which was interesting. So I did really enjoy this book, and if you like, I wouldn't call this one a cutesy YA contemporary. I feel like it was a little bit deeper because it had a really nice family aspect to it. So, I mean, it's pretty cutesy, but I feel like there's a little bit more to it. It's not quite so fluffy, I guess. in my opinion at least. So I really enjoyed this. I definitely recommend it if you like contemporaries, if you like family stories, coming of age stories. I would definitely say that you should pick it up. It comes out on July 17th, so put it on your to-read list if it sounds interesting to you, and that's all. Hope you have a good day. Bye!